It's like I hate that it's like this first podcast that we're bringing to you guys is like, oh my god, the Blue Jays, we're not gonna have any Jays this year.
Hello, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Jays. I'm your host, Adam.
And I'm your host, Nick. And today, well, we're going to be talking about something very important. Something that has been on our hearts and our souls. Well, maybe everyone in the world, actually. And that is, will the Toronto Blue Jays play in 2020? Please, COVID, do not take this away from me. Adam, what do you think, bro? Are they going to play in 2020?
Well, I mean, we're going to break it down for you about why or how, or maybe they won't even play, but we're going to talk about it today. Honestly, it's not looking good. I mean, I've seen reports, we've all seen the news articles about the back and forth between, like, the owners and the players, and honestly, as a fan, it's really frustrating.
It hurts.
Yeah, like, it does. But, like, honestly, I'm getting to a point where it's just kind of like, who cares anymore? You know, like, who cares anymore?
Well, and you know what? It is sad that we have gotten to that place, you know, that I am truthfully questioning my faith in the whole MLB organization. But there is a whole timeline that we want to break down for you guys right now about how this even happened. Like, why are we not sitting on the couch right now and watching Vladdy smash his 20th home run out of the park? And it all started on March 26th.
Yeah.
And on March 26th, they signed an agreement. That's the players' organization, and that's the owners. And basically what that said was that the owners agreed, we will give you your full prorated salary during the season, whenever the season happens, and that we will all, like the players and the owners, try in good faith to make a season happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, well, basically what's been going on, like, ever since that point, there's been back and forth negotiations. The owners kind of realized that, like, they couldn't really, like, play, or they couldn't pay for the entire season because you just simply don't have any fans. Your broadcast agreements, you know, they're kind of limited right now, but the fans is mainly where you get most of your income. Mm-hmm. So they started offering like 33% consecutive offers where they'd only pay them 33% of their prorated salaries, not the full salaries.
Take that in. Is they initially offered, or they said, they agreed, we will give you 100%. Yeah. And then they come back with and say, hold up. We had no idea there wasn't going to be any fans in the stands. We can't afford it. What about 33%? Well, the players, they're sitting at home and going, hold up. You have fired so many of our minor leaguers. You have taken a bunch of staff out of our facilities. We're holding you to this agreement.
Yeah, they definitely messed up. And, I mean, in recent weeks, you know, what's today? Today is June 22nd. Mm-hmm. In the recent weeks, they actually came back with a proper agreement when people were getting frustrated. You know, you've seen, like, players on Instagram, Twitter, tweeting, like they're really talking about their concern about the season. They just wanted to play baseball. Mm-hmm. And, you know, then the owners, I think, once they saw that backlash, they kind of, like, went back and they offered the full prorated salaries. And then in the recent weeks, they actually they offered for full prorated salaries and 60 games, but then they got denied by the MLBPA and requesting that they play 70 games, right?
Well, and, you know, like, I think, like, going back on that, it's like, I feel like Manfred, you know, he's sitting at home right now and he's going, oh my gosh, I do not want to be the commish who doesn't have a baseball season. Yeah. I got to make this happen, you know? So this guy literally, like, up and flies to Arizona and has like a 5-hour conversation with the lead guy of the players union, and then he offers this and he says, we will give you 60 days, we will give you, or 60 games, my bad, of prorated, your full prorated salary. And I think the players at that point, like, it's petty, it's totally petty, but they said, no, we want 70 games.
Yeah, and like, see, like, this is something I've been thinking about. It's like, look, you want baseball to come back, and the MLBPA are people who represent the players, right? They're not the actual players physically themselves. The people who represent the players. So the MLBPA is just trying to fight back to be like, well, you kind of screwed us for the last month, so we're going to fight back and deny your first, just because you met with us doesn't mean like, no, we're going to push a little bit further and give 70 games. But if I'm the MLBPA and I'm representing players and I'm hearing what players want, and that's to play baseball, I'm like, just take the deal. Like, just take the deal.
Dude, have you been looking at what Vladdy, what Bichette, what all those guys have done on Instagram right now?
Actually, I haven't looked at their...
Well, it's like all these guys.
I see their photos of like Vladdy like chilling like this, like when and where.
Exactly. Like, you can tell like these guys are literally at home, like gnawing at the bit to get on the field and smack some dinners, because they know it's like being that young, like they're excited, they want to play, and the fans we want you to play. Like, I don't want to be making this video right now. I would much rather be having a reaction video to his 20th home run.
Yeah, right? I don't have to be on this couch being like, oh my God, we got to go talk about Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but like literally we can't. And, it sucks that we have to talk about this. And, this whole thing is getting like really out of hand, and time is ticking. And seriously, when I mean time is ticking. And we really only have, from the looks of it, roughly like 4 days. We have about 4 days on June 22nd to make a decision whether we want to play or not. And even if we do play, I don't think the likelihood of them actually playing is very good.
Well, because, dude, we haven't even touched on the reports that came out of Philly and out of Toronto about the players coming down with COVID-19 like symptoms. And that is 5 people in the Philadelphia Phillies organization have come down with COVID-19. Now, that means that whole team now has to isolate for 2 weeks. So now we're talking about this. We're saying not only do the owners and the Players Association need to suck it up and compromise, which what we're saying is probably not going to happen. Like, basically right now they're about $300 million apart. They have to compromise that, and then we have to find some sort of safe system where nobody in the MLB contracts COVID.
Yeah. Because what do you think is going to happen? It's like someone, as soon as someone comes down with COVID, we just saw it literally a couple of days ago.
Shut down.
They just shut it all down. And do you really think that, like, when we were talking earlier, like, it's not only just like, approximately 700 players, but you also got like trainers, staff, managers, executives, like families. You have all these people in this area. If one person gets it, and well, it's sad to say, like, if it's one player, it's gonna be news. If it's one family member, we may not hear about it, but it doesn't matter. That's people. People are at risk, and if one person gets it, it's done. So even if they do come up with agreement in 4 days, which by the looks of like all of our research, they literally only have 4 days to get a season started, but without going past September and into October to play roughly 60 games, like we're looking at no season happening.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be honest, like, after doing the research for this video and just seeing like where everyone was at and realizing that, realistically, yes, COVID-19 is a huge problem and the main catalyst of why this is happening. A large part of why we're not further ahead has been greed, and that's super frustrating. And now we're at a point where, verdict time of this video, I don't think we're going to have a 2020 MLB season. I do not believe the Toronto Blue Jays will play in 2020.
No, I think honestly, it's so much of a mess right now where it just doesn't make much sense. But even if it does happen, like we said, like it's probably going to just be ended.
Yeah, because dude, you know that today in the United States there is 2.34 million confirmed COVID-19 cases.
Yeah.
2.34 million.
Yeah. And like in like the states that they're actually playing in, they've talked about Florida, they talked about Arizona. They've had recent spiked cases as much as 6,000 in Arizona and 4,000 in Florida on Saturday.
they are the worst.
Yeah, they're literally the worst. Like even New York has taken measures to calm down, but these have just spiked all of a sudden. This is the most cases last Saturday that they've had in this entire pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's where we're at right now, guys. So it's like I hate that it's like this first podcast that we're bringing to you guys is like, oh my God, the Blue Jays, we're not gonna have any Jays this year. But we're probably not gonna have any Jays this year.
But what we want to try and keep some light, positive energy is we want to talk about the Jays because as Blue Jays fans, we were really, really, really excited going into the season. You know, you got Vladimir. You know, didn't meet his potential in the beginning, but he actually met a good amount of expectation near the end. Bichette coming in super, super, super hot. Mm-hmm. Lots of talks of all-star potential. And then you got Kevin Biggio, which can be a lot of hot takes coming up soon. I think he's one of the best eyes in baseball. Absolutely.
And I mean, we're going to be coming to you guys with videos from all of them. Like we've talked that like we kind of want to take some next steps. Like what would the lack of a season mean for the Toronto Blue Jays? We're going to talk about that. Then we're also going to break down the lineup for you guys, kind of going through like every spot. Is this guy the right fit for this role? What do we think? What are our options? Everything like that. So we're going to have so much more content coming for you guys.
Mm-hmm. And any updates as well, we're also going to toss it this way, and we can be the people, hopefully, that you want to see coming from us. Mm-hmm. Our baseball news as well as our Blue Jays news.
Yeah, so literally, guys, hit us with any comments down below. Like, what do you think? Are we going to have a Blue Jays season this year? Or are we not going to have a Blue Jays season this year? And alternatively, any video ideas, any podcast ideas, we'd love to hear it. Hit us in the comments. We're open to anything.
And you can follow us on our Instagram, our Twitter, as well as subscribe to us on YouTube. Right now, we're currently in the works of getting our podcast, not only just on video, but also just on audio to make it easier for you guys to listen to us. That's going to be on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. So make sure to check those out when they're available.
Yeah, Apple Music is a hard nut to crack.
We're working on it. We'll get down to the caves.
Still figuring that one out. But anyways, thank you so much for watching.
Go Jays, go.